What's up, guys? Jake Bomb 45 here to bring you this week's Star Wars: The Clone Wars episode review. This was season 4, episode 6, and the title was called Nomad Droids. And overall, I have to say I really enjoyed this episode because for me, last week seemed kind of boring, but I'm guessing for me it's because, R2-D2 and C-3PO, they were on different planets, they were traveling, and I guess that really made it interesting for me for this episode to watch because they were interacting with different species from different planets, and it was pretty cool. I fairly enjoyed this episode much than I enjoyed last week's. And so basically, in this episode, we see R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're on like a Republic ship, and they're about to go home, and they're glad. However, General Grievous comes, and he starts an attack on one of the Republic ships, and they realize they need to leave immediately. So they go on a vehicle, and they go and run away from the droids and starfighters, and they see General Grievous is engaging in battle with one of the Jedi Knights. I don't remember her name, but she's familiar if you guys watched it from the other episodes before. And basically, they crash land on this planet where they have these little blue aliens, not aliens, but species of people. And at first they seem harmless, but however, they had like electrical staffs, and since they're droids, they would be affected by the electricity. So they're like knocked out, and then they meet up with the leader, which is like this giant, not giant, but like kind of a bigger ruler. And he seemed more like a tyrant, and he allowed C-3PO and R2-D2 to get away. However, though, C-3PO accidentally pushes R2-D2, and which R2-D2 smashes the leader, and then at first they think that they're in trouble, but actually the people were glad that he was gone because he was more of like a dictator, and they wanted C-3PO to be the ruler, but instead of him being the ruler, because he couldn't stay on the planet, of course, he decides to make a democracy on the planet. And I was just like laughing when I saw this. I mean, how one droid is made democracy for a whole planet. And basically, he picked the 3 smartest and most compassionate of the people, and basically he did a voting section on which one was going to be leader. And he picked the middle person, but there was a lot of quarrels and debates, just like any other when somebody's being picked as a ruler or leader. And the R2-D2 and C-3PO, they left immediately, and they enter their ship, and they go and they fly off to try to go to Coruscant or some other planet so they can get communication, in which they meet up with another planet. And at first I thought this planet was kind of with bounty hunters, but actually it was just another species that were just catching prey at the time. And then R2-D2 and C-3PO got caught again. And this time they meet up with another leader, and these people were kind of like a grayish color. I wouldn't say like much of a tentacle creature, but they were pretty much with a grayer species. They didn't seem that intelligent because they didn't know what droids were. And then they meet up with a hologram of the leader, and the leader was basically a giant hologram where he had like lightning surrounding him. And R2-D2 and C-3PO knew already what he was, and he was a fake. And so R2-D2 ventures out, looks for the where's the hologram was coming from, and he finds like these little small droids. And if you guys are hardcore Star Wars fans, you remember, I believe in episode 1 when they first arrive on Tatooine and they meet Anakin, Jar Jar has conflicts with this one droid, and it's kind of small, and basically if he hit him like on the center of the eye, it would like turn back to like a small like a sleep mode, but like it was like a small alien episode 1, and that's what basically these droids were. And R2-D2 basically drives them out, and then the people actually try to go and destroy the droids. And unfortunately, R2-D2 and C-3PO couldn't do anything because their powers were running out because they needed recharge. And then as they went to sleep mode, another ship comes by, and then they meet up with pirates. And these pirates were from when like that episode when like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku were kept captive, and they took the 2 droids into their ship, and apparently they wanted to enter those 2 into like a robot droid fighting contest. And surprisingly, as the ship is going by, they're behind the ship is General Grievous, and he seems to capture the Jedi Knight. And so basically General Grievous fires at the ship just for target practice, and R2-D2 and C-3PO eventually escape once again, and they head towards General Grievous's ship, and where they meet up with a whole bunch of separatist droids, and then they realize that they are so-called pirate droids, and then they're about to be incinerated, so they're in trouble again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, all right, we get it, like they can get out of situations with luck, but there's just so many situations where they could have just been destroyed, and I'm like, wow. Like they would actually like do this so much, and then as soon as they're about to get incinerated, Master Plo and his clone troopers come in just to save the Jedi Knight, and then luckily R2-D2 and C-3PO escape again, and after they rescue the Jedi Knight, they meet up with Master Plo, and surprisingly they meet up with Commander Wolf, and they're reunited again, and apparently they're gonna go home, and that's pretty much the episode. But I guess I enjoyed this episode overall because it was funny to me. It was more adventurous with the two droids. Because the last episode they were stuck on one planet. But I like this episode. It was humorous for me. And stay tuned for the next 2 weeks, because that's when we're supposed to get to, like, I believe, a 4-parter episode with the clone troopers and with starring Commander Rex. And I'm really looking forward for those episodes, because that's the real clone battle I've been waiting for to see and actually talk about, because Commander Rex is one of my favorites, just because he's basically like Anakin, his personality, whatnot, and I've been waiting to see some good clone action. But anyways, that's it for my review. Thank you all for watching. If you did like this review, please subscribe, and also place your comments below, because I really like to see what other people think about this episode. So please, just what you liked about the episode, you disliked. You can wait for the next 2 weeks for the 4-part episode for the clones. Please like the video if you did like it. That helps me out. And I'll see you guys later in 2 weeks for my next Star Wars review. And also look at my channels for other videos like I do about anime, wrestling, and whatever. And I take video requests too. So thank you for watching again, and see you later. Peace.